Tashidilek and Happy New Year 2025. Over the years, Tibet Corps has provided a unique platform for Tibetan professionals and graduates to contribute to the Tibetan community through voluntary service. Since its inception in 2012, this program has inspired hundreds of Tibetans worldwide to strengthen our community and institutions, particularly the Central Tibetan Administration. This year, Tibet Corps has seen the participation of 55 volunteers from across India, Nepal, the Netherlands, and the United States of America, with women making up 37 of the total. Today, we are excited to continue this important conversation by introducing two women making meaningful contributions through Tibet Corps. Joining us are Tenzin Dheden, a program alumna now serving as a project officer at SART, the Social and Resource Development Fund under the Department of Finance, and Urgen Choetso, a current Tibet Corps volunteer working in the counseling section of the Department of Education. Let's explore their journeys and discuss how initiatives like Tibet Corps help connect the Central Tibetan Administration with the younger generation. Welcome to our program, both of you.
Thank you so much.
So I'd like to begin by asking both of you, how did this decision to volunteer at Central Tibetan Administration come about, and what drew you to this specific program of Tibet Corps?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for inviting us today here. For me, I decided to join Tibet Corps after I graduated last year because I was like, I wanted to serve my community all this while. I only studied in an English medium school, never really got a chance to, indulge with our own community. So I always knew that I wanted to do something within our community. I didn't know it was going to be Tibet Corps, but after talking to my grandfather, who also served at CTA, he suggested me that Tibet Corps would be a good idea for you, and that's how I came about Tibet Corps.
Okay. So initially I don't know about this program. So usually what I do is when I need some internship, I ask our counselor, which is the chief counselor Jamiala, about if there is any opportunity in working at Department of Education counseling section. And he told me that I could apply through Tibet Corps, where they will provide both accommodation and stipend, right? So through that, I got to know Tibet Corps, and I applied for a special education intern position. Yeah.
So you both came up with a different educational background, right? You're from media studies, communications, and you're with the psychology background. So I like to ask, how helpful was your educational qualification with your current volunteering work at CTA, and what did you learn?
Okay, as for me, I actually volunteered, which is so funny, but at Tibettv itself for about 3 months. I did my bachelor's, as you mentioned, in mass communication, and my honors was media technology. I did work for a short time in a different company too before coming here, but I didn't really have a hands-on practical experience, although I had the theoretical knowledge. So when I came here, I don't know how much of a help it was for Tibettv, but I think I gained a lot of practical knowledge coming here. So yeah, that is how I think it related with the subject.
We'll talk more about that. What about you, Urgen?
I did my master in psychology, right? So in my college days, I did learn some information on special education. So through this, while I was working as an intern, I come across lots of psychological terms and concepts which are easy to grasp, as I have already learned it, right? So it was easy for me to do internship in special education section. Yeah.
So with your specialization in psychology and your current work in the Department of Education, focusing on children's book and translation and review, right? And so also creating tools for special needs children, which is both unique and impactful. I guess very important job that you're doing right now. Also, how has your academic training helped you address the need of specific children in Tibetan community? Can you be a little more specific, and what did you learn about?
So since I did my from class 1 to 10 in Payton school, I have some good Tibetan concept. So like while we are making all the visual aids and flashcards, and we do like translate all the assessments in Tibetan. So like it has become easier for me to translate this in Tibetan, because I have been I have good Tibetan knowledge, right? So through this, I think I can do a better job at translating all the assessments and making flashcards in Tibetans. So that's pretty much it.
So, so in translation, it helped with your Tibetan language background. Okay, and Deden, so as you have said, you are here with Tibettv before during your first months in. Through this program in Tibet Corps, right? You have created contents for Tibettv. I want to know how did that experience shape your understanding of media, the role media play in Tibetan community, and how this the first experience has prepared you for the current roles in the Department of Finance.
Okay, I think that tackles two questions. For the first part, I think the role that Tibet, media plays in our community, I think it plays a very strong role, because we know that nowadays every war is won through information, right? So I think especially when we as a community are being targeted with a lot of misinformation, disinformation, right? So I think in that way, media plays a very important role in shaping people's opinion, and that's why I think it plays a very important role. Second part is, I think my experience here at Tibettv, definitely it helped me gain a lot of knowledge and context about the Tibetan community, about CTA, and how the whole structure of CTA works, since you know it's a bureaucratic structure. And that is how I think it helped me prepare better for my interview for SARD. And as for SARD itself, I don't think I'm necessarily, I don't think Tibettv necessarily correlates with my work at SARD, but yeah, I think I got a good idea about CTA from Tibettv.
Oh, wonderful. And one more thing I want to ask with Urgen. So from your perspective, since you have a background with psychology, how can CTA further integrate mental health and psychological support in the education initiatives, especially for the special needs children, which Education Kalun Thalam Tumachangara recently during some workshop and training, she has mentioned about the number of special needs children in the Tibetan community are increasing, and she acknowledged that lot need to be done for them as well. So, so what do you think about that?
So as for now, like what I have experienced is that our supervisor, my supervisor, Madam Bedula, she has been doing her best to gather data on children with special needs from different schools, even in Nepal, and also she is also preparing all the tailor-made interventions for all these students. So, but what we lack in our community is a trained special educator. We don't have much special educator, and I think what the CTA needs to do is they should encourage the young Tibetans to opt for special education as a career. They don't really think a special educator has much role in Tibetan community, and I think we need awareness on that.
Tibet Corps is an open network of young volunteers, and you have and many of you are from different parts of the country. Like you're from Shillong, right, and you're from Kolekal, right? So different places. So when you come together and you live in the Tibet Corps building, right? You mostly spend time together, and you have formed a friendship, I believe, with many different people from around the world. So. So it's also like a close-knit family that you have. So I want to hear more about that.
Okay. I think when I first joined Tibet Corps, it was such an interesting experience for me, not only because I was working at Central Tibetan Administration, which is our government, but at the same time meeting so many young, talented Tibetan people from all walks of life. Like, in a sense, there were, at least during my time, there were people from America, so you know, from Harvard, from Yale, and then there were people who were data scientists, and then people who came from Tibetan schools. So there were a lot of different people. We had such a good and amazing time. You know, sometimes we would stay over 4 a.m. discussing debates about politics, about religion, about maybe like different subject matters. So yeah, it was a really good experience for me.
As for me, I have been at Tibet Corps for like 3 months, right? And I have met many people from different countries and states from India as well. And now we have become like a family within these 3 months, and we cook for each other, and we do like late night movies, and we share lots of amazing memories. And I think this is one perks of staying at Tibet Corps.
Yeah. You can learn from each other and you can help each other, right,
Yes.
on a daily basis. So, and did you face any challenges while at working as CTA, such as adapting to the new professional environment and navigating the bureaucratic process, as you know it is, right? So, and bureaucratic structure, and also balancing personal or professional goals?
I think it is obviously, you know, tough, a little bit tough in the beginning, but as you go through it, you learn. It was obviously a new experience for me working in a process like this, because I initially just had a little bit of experience working at a startup, which is very small, and decisions and everything happened over a matter of day. And here, sometimes it takes months, right? But yeah, that was a little bit tough. But at the same time, I think language is a little bit tough for me. My Tibetan wasn't really great when I initially came here, but I think I have improved a lot ever since. I would like to think so. And at the same time, I think but then it wasn't really very different. I think, in fact, I've gained a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have in a different environment, I think. So I think overall it has been rather a pleasant experience for me.
Okay.
As for me, initially, it was hard to adapt to office environment, right? I've never been at I've never interned at an office, so but since I have got good supervisor, and it was easy for me to adapt to this change. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'm just going to add one more thing. I think overall, I've also had great supervisors up until now. From my time at Tibettv to my time at SARD right now, I think all the supervisors have been great. They've all been super helpful, and yeah, that is something I'm really grateful for too.
Nice to hear that. And in your view, how can Tibet Corps and CTA connect the Tibetan youth worldwide, and especially those who are first time, they're hesitant to immediately serve or join CTA in that space?
You can go first.
I have mentioned this before, right? So initially I was not aware of this program, Tibet Corps program. So many of the Tibetan youths I think in South, they are not aware of this program, what they are providing and what kind of service they can provide. So if they can do some active social media presence, giving information about what is Tibet Corps and who can apply, and what are the services they can provide, or I think this would connect better with Tibetan youth.
Mm-hmm. More social media presence should be there. What about you, Dheden?
I think so too. I think there needs to be better disseminating of this information about Tibet Corps, because I've seen it over a few websites here and there, but I haven't really seen a good media push. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you had the opportunity to bring one change or improvement to CTA's engagement with the young people, young Tibetans across the world, what would that be?
I think currently, I think CTA is doing a lot when it comes to youth engagement. We have forums like ITYF, where 100 youth every year is getting a chance to network with each other, but at the same time learn more about CTA through the tour, right? At the same time, we have initiatives like Tibet Corps where volunteers can come and volunteer for a few months, and then you get an idea in a sense about about CTA and the government. Another thing I think we can do is, I think social media push is one thing that we really need. Like, I know sometimes it sounds very vague, but I think like a lot of youngsters nowadays are looking for opportunity and they don't know the right place, like they don't know the right place to look for that opportunity. And I think it is sad to say, but one of the most available platform is social media. It's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, those platforms. And I think if we can reach more youths through these areas, we'll definitely target a lot more youths, more than what we are targeting right now.
Okay, what about you?
Like Dedila has said, I think the programs like Tibet Corps and all the like VTech and ITYF, they should it should be encouraged. Like, and we do appreciate like CTA for providing us this platform to like to give us service, and yeah, through this I think it will reach out to more Tibetan youths.
And how much impact do you think that your work has on the larger Tibetan community? It's a deep question, but you can, think about it and answer.
Like you said, I think it is a very deep question because for my volunteer experience, I did it about 6 months, I think. So in 3 months, I don't know what kind of bigger impact that I've had on the Tibetan community, but I think every small step is a win. There are a lot of youths nowadays who talk about, like, you know, that there needs to be a change in our society and that our system needs to change, our government needs to change. And I think if those are your thoughts, then you need to put it into action. And I think Tibet Corps is a very good way to do that. So I hope that my small contribution and my time here at Tibettv and at SART, I think I'm having at least a little bit of impact when it comes to, you know, joining the workforce, because a lot of people say that CTA nowadays, we lack human resource, and hopefully I've had a little bit of impact there.
Okay. Like what we do in our special education section is like we do all the like translation of the assessments, right? Like in like Tibetan language, we don't have any like assessments in Tibetan, and like most of the children with special needs are like early childhood age, right? So like what we taught in our schools is in Tibetan, right? They only know Tibetan. So like if we don't have these assessments in Tibetan, it's hard to diagnose them, right? And if we don't diagnose them, we don't have we can't give like early intervention. So like through like our work as a team, we do all the assessment translation in Tibetan and making flashcards in Tibetan, which will provide like inclusivity in schools, and also like detecting children with special needs at early age, which can help in like providing early interventions. I think this will make huge impact on Tibetan community.
So what's your takeaway from your period of volunteering at through this program, Tibet Corps, to the Central Tibetan Administration? You were here for 6 months, your volunteering service period, right? Yeah. And your is current 3 months. So can you tell us just one takeaway?
I think one takeaway for me is that I realized that, you know, when you are outside the structure, it's very easy to say like, oh, like this could change or that could change, or like the government isn't doing enough, or like, oh, this should have happened in this way. But once you work in the system, I think you kind of appreciate everything so much more. You know, I think like I realized that, you know, it is much easier to say and give opinions when you're outside, but when you're in the system and working, that is when you realize that, you know, it really takes a whole community to make that change, even if it's just a small step. So that is something I've started to appreciate more now.
What about you?
Like through this 3 months, like I have come to understand like how the CTA works, and also like I have gained many like good skills from like working as an intern, like patience and adaptability, and also like communications and all. And also it improved my Tibetan a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's
That's another takeaway. My Tibetan has improved a lot.
Good to hear that from both of you. So these are my questions, but before signing off with this conversation, one last question I'd like to ask. Looking ahead, what role do you think program like Tibet Corps will play in sustaining Tibetan communities, goals, and values?
I think through this program itself, at least in my own knowledge, there are so many people from Tibet Corps who served during my time, who's right now currently working at CTA itself, including me. I'm working at SART right now, and my friends over here are working at the Department of Home and other sectors within the Tibetan community. Even the ones who aren't working currently at CTA are doing something within the community. They have gone forward and worked at associations like ROKPA, other NGOs like SFT, and other community engaging NGOs. And I think Tibet Corps basically is like that platform where you take the first step, and then after that everything else follows. You get a better idea about CTA, you get a better idea about the Tibetan community, and then you meet a lot of like-minded people who are also coming here with that same sense of that feeling to do more for your community. So I think one of the best thing that Tibet Corps provides you is definitely the network that you get after coming here. Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
I think the Tibet Corps and other programs like that, it has become like a bridge between Tibetan youth and CTA, where youths like us, we get to know more about how CTA functions and how they contribute to Tibet cause. And through these programs, I think they encourage all the Tibetan youths. They give opportunity for us to provide service to the CTA and encourages us to work in CTA itself. So yeah, that's.
So these are my questions for this conversation, and it was so lovely having you two here and sharing about your volunteer service at the Central Tibetan Administration through Tibet Corps. And I wish you all the best for the upcoming projects or the volunteering services that you are doing here. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay. With this, we have come to the end of today's program of In Conversation with Tibettv. Thank you so much for watching.